Hello, I'm Sarah Oxendine, one of the school counselors here at Leesville Road High School. Today, we are going to go over some information that is important for freshmen to understand here at the beginning of their high school career. We call this the Freshman Checkup. Here are some ways your school counselor can assist you. They are categorized into three groups: academic, personal, social, and college and career. You can see under each heading there are several topics that we can help students with. Under academics, we can help you with your schedules, talk about your graduation requirements, help you with any academic support you may need. Under personal social, you see a variety of issues that many teens deal with. Relationships, perhaps you're having some issues with social media, your friends, and you see atop that list, stress and anxiety. We all know we're going through a lot of that right now in these uncertain times. And then the final category is college and career. These are, your post-secondary plans or hopes. What's required to get into colleges? What if I'm interested in the military? What do I do with SATs and ACTs? When do I take those? So we can help you with all of these items. So please reach out to us if you would like to talk to us about anything. I do want to say before I move on that you will notice over the years we talk a lot about college as a post-secondary plan for students. And the reason that is because 70% of Leesville students go on to four-year universities and 20% go on to two-year colleges. So we have a very high going percentage of our students go to college, which is why we talk about it so much. But there are definitely other options. Some of our students go to work, some enlist in the military, some travel, some take a gap year. There's all sorts of things you can do, but that's why we do focus on college a lot. So it's always good to know where we are going so that we can ensure we're taking the best steps to get there. So this is a collection of your graduation requirements. These go into effect for your class, the class of 2024, and those that will come after you. You can see that the top 5, English, math, science, social studies, and health and PE, are outlined for you. There's 4 Englishes, there's 4 maths, 3 sciences, 4 social studies, and 1 health and PE credit. So those total 16. Okay, now the remaining 10 credits that you need, which will total 26, they can be made up of anything. It might be world language, it might be the arts courses, it might be career and technical or CTE courses. Perhaps you want to take some electives in the core areas, such as additional science courses. Maybe you like to be active and want to take numerous PE courses. That's all fine, and you have choice in all of that. So only 16 of your required 26 classes are spelled out with specific course requirements. So I've told you the big picture, what it's going to take to graduate. Well, let's back up a little bit and talk about what it's going to take to be a sophomore. High school's a little different than middle school. You don't just roll through the grades. You have to do a certain number of things in order to be moved into sophomore status. You have to earn 6 credits. Now, most of you will take 8 credits this year, 4 this semester in the fall and 4 next semester in the spring. So that's a total of 8 that you have an opportunity to earn. You must earn 6 credits. One of those must be English 1. You will find that as we go through the years, English serves as the gatekeeper to the next grade. You must pass English in every grade in order to move to the next. So you have your 6 credits, one of which must be English 1, and then 2 additional credits must come from other core subjects, math, science, or history. And then it's always good to remind you that every class is worth a credit. So it doesn't matter if you're taking AP Calculus, or you're taking visual arts, or you're taking foods. Every single class at this school yields a credit. So that's what it's going to take to be a sophomore. We are often asked by students and their parents, what should I be doing every year? So in addition to focusing on your grades and your classes, we've outlined some things in the typical order or the typical timeline that students address other items. Ninth grade really is all about starting strong, developing some skills. A lot of you will find that you are going to have to put forth more effort than you did in middle school to get the same results. Get involved. I know that's a little difficult, but we do have some clubs and sports that are starting to come together. Seek help when you need it. Reach out to us, your counselors, and then we'll talk about your courses for next year. And we'll do that every year with you. So then you see in 10th grade, driver's ed is a big deal. A lot of students may be taking care of that this year, and that's great. Maybe you want to look at doing an enrichment activity outside of school, a summer program or something to that effect. Grade 11, that's the year when a lot of the testing is done for most students, taking those college entrance exams. This is when you can really start to think about your post-secondary options and devise your list of colleges. And start touring those even. This is a very important year, the junior year, with regards to academics, because it is the last year that most colleges will see when you send them your application. And then in 12th grade, some students are testing for a final time. They're looking into internships. They're meeting with their counselor for their individual senior conferences to go over application questions and how to send transcripts. And we want to ensure that you end your senior year strong. So this is just an overview of some of the things that students need to be doing as we move through the high school years, because it really does go quickly. So why are we talking about all of this? Why are grades, attendance, and promotion important? Well, there are a lot of privileges that are earned once you show responsibility and maturity through your academics. Of course, we want you to graduate on time. You guys are the class of 2024. We are charged with helping you get out of high school on time. Also, a lot of you will be getting your permit or license, and if you want to keep those, you must pass 75% of your courses, or what is typically 3 of 4 classes here at Leesville High. If you lose your permit or license due to your grades, you cannot apply to get them back until the end of the next semester, because that's when you would show academic improvement. There's also a fee involved. You also would have to go back down to the DMV, and these are things that no one wants to do. So show your responsibility with your grades so that you can have that privilege of driving. If there are any athletes or hopeful athletes out there, grades are tied to your athletic eligibility. Again, you must pass 3 of 4 classes or 75% in order to be eligible to play. Now, the way that works is whatever season your sport falls in, we are looking to the semester prior to that. So, for example, if you want to play baseball, which is a spring sport, we would look at the fall semester of that year to see if you are academically eligible. Hopefully by the time you guys get to be juniors, the privilege of having off-campus lunch will be reinstated. You must be making academic progress through passing your classes in order to have that privilege. Down here on the bottom, as I mentioned earlier, only 16 of your classes are prescribed for you, and you have a lot of choice. We've got a lot of cool programs here: engineering, dance, culinary, visual arts. There's just so much cool stuff to take that you don't want to bog yourself down with having to retake the required core classes. So open yourself up to get to explore and do some cool things here. Of course, we want you to get and keep a good GPA. That stands for grade point average, and I'll get into that here shortly. And all of this is, helping you create a strong transcript, which will serve as a good foundation for your choices after high school. So what is a high school transcript? I just mentioned that. Now you guys as freshmen, you don't even have one yet. A high school transcript is a record of all the courses you've taken, all of your final grades. That's important to note. Final grades only go on a transcript. The credits you've earned, the number of honors and AP courses you've taken, your weighted and unweighted GPA, and your class rank. Now, I mentioned GPA earlier. That's grade point average. Class rank takes all the students in the class, and there's 700 or so of you guys, and puts them in order from number 1 to 700 based on their GPA, which comes from their grades, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Your school transcript is what is sent to colleges, to scholarships, to some employers, to get a picture of the type of student you are, because it will encompass 3.5, 4 years worth of work and effort and responsibility. So it's a good track record of what you've done all during high school. And the stronger your transcript is, the more options you're creating for yourself, and you'll increase your chances of getting into a college. Now here we have this is an actual transcript. Of course, we have deleted any identifying information, but we just wanted you to see how one looks. You can see that this student took a course in the 8th grade, if any of you took Math 1 in the 8th grade, and some of you may have earned world language credit. Most frequently, that's Spanish that we see. You may have come to us already with a credit. And then you see this student's 9th grade year, 10th grade year, 11th grade year. You see all the courses that she's taken, her final grades that she's earned, and then these are called quality points or GPA points, and again we'll talk about those here shortly. And then you see, like I mentioned, 1 credit for each of these classes that she passed and earned a credit for. And then over here, this is the second page of her transcript. These are the classes she's currently in as a senior. We haven't completed those classes. There's no final grade, so there's nothing out here beside those courses on her transcript as of yet. Down here is a box entitled Performance Information. This is where all those special numbers are crunched after we finish each semester of high school. This is where your GPAs are calculated. This is where your class rank is listed, the number of credits that you have earned towards graduation, and so on and so forth. You will become very interested in these numbers as we go through the years. We will give you a copy of your transcript every year around February or March when we are doing registration for the next year, and students always like to reference that to see how they're doing and where they stand at that time. Okay, one thing we like to share with students is, where does your final grade come from? Because again, this may be completely new to you. So the way final grades are calculated in courses here at Leesville is that your first quarter grade, the grade you had when we ended first quarter, which was around Halloween, that's 40% of your grade. Your second quarter grade that we're working on right now is another 40% of your grade. And then the exam that you will take in that course is 20% of your grade. So the reason we meet with freshmen at this time of year is to encourage them that even if that quarter 1 grade was not where they wanted it to be, there is still over half of their final grade yet to be earned. So there's plenty of time to, if you need to change some habits, increase your effort, re-engage a little bit, there's time to make some moves with your final grade. And here we've worked out an example for you with grades that this student earned first quarter, second quarter on the final exam, and you can see that he came out with a B. Okay? Now, this is a little exercise and explanation in how to calculate your GPA. I know I keep saying that, and you're probably tiring of hearing me say it, but it is very important. And what we really try to drive home to freshmen is to help them understand that your GPA begins calculating your freshman year. And the grades you earn your freshman year are used in the formula just as much and just as heavily as the grades you earn in your sophomore year, in your junior year, and so on and so forth. So we really are wanting you to understand how this works so that you can get off to a good start and not worry about repairing some damage done early on in your high school career. So GPA, like I said, stands for grade point average. Now, what you will see illustrated here by the 3 columns on the left are that depending upon the level of the class, there are different weights or points given for grades earned in those classes. So let's talk about health and PE. That's a class that all freshmen take. That is a standard level class. So if you earn an A in that class, you get a 4. You get 4 points. If you earn a B, you get 3 points, and so on and so forth. Now, if you happen to be in, let's say, Honors English 1 or Honors Math Plus, those are honors level classes, and you get a little bit of a bonus point. You get half of a point because you're taking a more rigorous class. So an A in an honors class earns you 4.5 points. And then even beyond that are AP courses. That stands for Advanced Placement courses. Those are college level courses taught at the high school. Those give you an additional point, a whole point higher than the standard level classes. So an A in an AP course earns you 5 points. Now, we don't have a lot of freshmen taking AP courses. Perhaps some of you are in AP World History, but as you move through the years, we offer 20 AP courses here at Leesville, so you may very well encounter some. So if you were to calculate if you just kind of wanted to see where you stand right now, I would encourage you, use the quarter grades that you earned after quarter 1. This is just an exercise. Only final semester grades are used in a calculation, but for the sake of understanding how it works, you can use your quarter 1 grades, or you can use, your current grade that you have right now. But give each of those grades their related GPA points. So here's our example. If you have an A in Honors English 1, you would get 4.5 points. If you have an A in Health and PE, 4 points. Academic or standard level Earth Science, a B would get you a 3. And if you're taking Spanish 1, which is a standard level class, and you earned a C, you would get 2 points. So you add all of those up, and you see that we come up with a total of 13.5. The final step that you have to do is to divide that total by the number of classes you are attempting. So you must divide by 4, and that would yield a 3.37 GPA. Now, I say you have to divide by the number of classes you're attempting because if you're failing a class, you're not going to get any points for it. You see over here, all of these F's have zeros, but you still have to include it in the total number of classes you divide by. So that's why we say you have to divide by the number you're attempting. Here's a worksheet if you wanted to use it to go through the exercise I just mentioned. So, why is she telling us this? Here's a chart of these are the 16 public universities in the state of North Carolina. We also have a couple of private schools on here. I see Campbell, I see Meredith. But what we've done is collected the average GPA that these schools advertise that their incoming class presented to them. So you can see now that you have your GPA, if that were to be your GPA at the end of your high school career, what options would that GPA open up for you? Do you have a lot? Are the ones that you want to be on your list, are they within striking distance? Are they within, reality? Or is it time, do we need to work to get that GPA up so that you do have more choices? And please understand there are many, many more colleges out there than these, but these are popular destinations for many Leesville students. Please please understand, we as your counselors want you to create options for yourself as you move through high school. We do not want you closing any doors. And it's just very important to understand that in this mathematical formula that I taught you how to do, all of your grades are crunched into numbers, yielding this GPA. And the nature of a GPA is cumulative. So that means as we go through each semester, every year, we're putting the grade you earn for that semester into the equation, and then we're dividing by the total number of courses you attempted. So at the end of your sophomore year, you will have attempted 16 grades. So we put all those quality points into the equation, and then we're dividing by 16. So that's what cumulative means. You are always carrying with you the grades you earn in high school. You don't get a restart every year, okay? That's what we're really trying to get you to understand. I've sat with many kids over the years, and I know my colleagues would say the same. You know, a student in their junior year, and perhaps, you know, the light bulb's now gone off, and they're wanting to go to a certain college, but their GPA is just not where it needs to be to go there immediately, and they're asking me what to do, and I have to explain. It's all a mathematical formula, and you can't expect a miracle in the few grades you have left to earn to rectify or make better, you know, the 16 or 20 or 24 grades you've already earned. So that's why we want you to get off to a strong start. So you're not trying to dig out of a hole for the next 3.5 years. Here's some tips about how to find more academic success if you're struggling. You know, please attend your classes, get organized, whatever that looks like for you. Check your Power School, look at missing assignments, make those up. If you are going to be out, or if you missed a day because you were sick, talk to your teacher about getting caught up. If you have an opportunity to do an assignment over or to earn, you know, additional points for test recovery, please take advantage of those. Ask for help from your teachers or from us, the counselors. And we do have tutoring resources, peer tutoring, that you can access for additional help.
Thank you, Ms. Oxendine, for going through the freshman checkup, and that's some really valuable information that we wanted to share with the freshmen. This is Mr. Green, the Dean of Students, and I just wanted to wrap things up by just encouraging all the students to reach out to their counselors if they have questions about anything. We have a list here of all the counselor email addresses. We also have a weekly live counselor booth that you can join in through a Google Meet, and the code for that is listed here on this slide. It's LRHS Counselor Booth, and that's every Thursday from 11:30 to 12:30, and you can drop in and ask questions then. And of course, you can always email your counselor too, and either ask them a question through email or schedule a time to meet with them through Google, through a Google Meet. We really look forward to the day that y'all are able to safely come back to the building. We hope that will be soon, because we know this year just feels so different for you as freshmen who've never been to Leesville before, and for those of you who you know, just really ready to get back to the other activities besides just the academics. Sports clubs, all those things. I know you're missing those, and as we are too, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you soon once it's deemed safe to do so. So please reach out to us. We are here to help you with anything that we can virtually right now to support you both academically and socially and emotionally. And we hope you have a great rest of this semester and a great start to second semester.